It is about action. You know, I think that we have to build, you have to take action. And I think sometimes we find ourselves struggling in trying to figure out how we're going to build this. You know, so we're struggling, and you can't build when you're just struggling. Well, you're like a hamster on a wheel, just struggling to figure it all out. It takes that first step. And I think about, you know, what stops us? You know, what stops us? People, naysayers, criticism. Sometimes we don't need any of that because we do such a good job of stopping ourselves and criticizing ourselves.
Right.
You know, so we don't need any of these external things. We're pretty good at stopping ourselves. But the truth is that God's got this. And if you don't step out, you'll never know. You'll never know. And you know, my father-in-law used to say, there's no failures, there's only learners. And so every time that you don't make the mark, you've had an opportunity to learn something. And I think that's how God likes to lead us. He likes to lead us as learners. You know, we're not perfect by any means, and we're not ever going to always get it right. But you know, as in our learning, we can be good teachers. We can be good examples. Yeah. We can show our children how to learn well, that it may not always go well, but we can learn well. And how do we learn well? We take the knowledge that we've been given and we use that knowledge, and it becomes wisdom. It becomes wisdom in the next decision, the next opportunity. And you know, God says, just ask for wisdom, and I will freely and liberally give you that wisdom without finding fault. And I always remind myself, God, you're not looking at the way I did it yesterday. You're not finding fault in me yesterday. You're giving me wisdom for today. So that's going to give me confidence to step out. And so that's kind of how, when I doubt my purpose, like, you know, it's interesting because when Joel and I first started leading the church, I would look at him and I would think, nobody needs to hear from me. He says it all, and he says it so well. And I began to feel invisible, and I began to feel like I really had no place. And then I realized, you know, even if it's in the pulpit or out of the pulpit, my purpose is very valuable and strong. I can encourage. I can support. You know, I have so many things that I can do. And then if God allows me in the pulpit, He's going to help me there too. So, you know, that's the thing we need to say. We need to feel and cultivate our purpose whatever season we're in, whatever we find ourselves doing. We can't just say, well, what do I do now? You bring value. And I come back to this because I really think that value and worth is key and critical in knowing who you are. And knowing who you are is your purpose. You got to ask yourself some questions. And that's sometimes some tough questions. You got to say, who's God called me to be? He's called me to be His child. He's already equipped me. He's called me to love the people around me, to be a support. And you know, it's interesting because sometimes people say, well, if I give all that away, I won't have anything left for myself. If I support someone, if I give them my ideas. But there's a principle in Scripture, and it says, if you'll give, it'll be given back to you. So whatever you need today for your purpose, if you can find someone to give something to, I believe that God will give it back to you. And you'll see that you have all you need to fulfill your journey and to live out your life with great purpose and destiny.
Hi everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe today and you'll never miss a new upload. Thanks for being a part of our Better Together community.